Hey everybody, Joe Burnich with Big West Marketing and Carpet Cleaning Websites.net. I have been promising you guys this interview for about 3 weeks now. I'm super excited. We have Sid Graff on the line with us, and we're talking about Facebook stuff. So when you guys ask us about how to market on Facebook, does Facebook work, stuff like that, I am going to send you to this video because Sid is a seasoned professional. He actually lives in the same hometown as I do in Missoula, Montana. He has a very successful window and carpet cleaning business. So, enter Sid Graff. Sid, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, about your business, and then we'll start getting into some actionable steps these guys can take to market with Facebook.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Joe. Thanks for having me on. It's really cool. So a little bit of background. I do own and operate a window cleaning and carpet cleaning business. I've been doing the window cleaning part for over 20 years, which seems like a really long time when you say it out loud. We've got a pretty good-sized business. I've got 10 employees, and to a large degree, it runs itself. I had a goal this year to not clean any windows, just to have my crew take care of everything. And yesterday, I cleaned my first window of the year. To put that in context, I think this is March, so we're right at about $25,000 to $30,000 of revenue this month. So
Nice.
I managed to get that far without cleaning a single window, which is big for me.
And that's big in Missoula. Let me tell you guys, what would you say the service area is? About 80,000 maybe?
Yeah, 80,000 max.
80,000 people that we service in the Missoula, Montana area. And having a carpet cleaning business with one employee, it was tough to keep people busy, keep one guy busy all year long. And I know that you don't keep all 10 guys busy all year long, but you still have a thriving business. I mean, if you're making 30 grand in March, that is huge for a city this size with, 8-month-long winters. So
Yeah, that's exactly right.
and that's why I brought you on, because I'm so impressed that you were able to take a business in Missoula and blow it. I couldn't believe there was that much window cleaning, carpet cleaning work to go around.
Right.
Let alone have one company dominate like that. So you are probably the biggest player in town. Would you say that's a fair assessment? Or
I don't know, probably, yeah.
Okay.
I really don't know.
Yeah. And
But
the reason I'm
as far as-
saying this is because I want people to know that what you're saying, they need to listen because you're big time. You're where most of the guys watching this want to be. You're off the truck. You've got a full staff that basically runs your business for you. How many hours a week do you think you put into your business?
I still put in 20 to 30 hours a week, always. Sometimes it's more. It depends on what's going on. There's always an ebb and flow. But the beautiful part about it is, like, if I need to take time away, I can.
Yeah.
An example, last week, my youngest son is 12. He had a gymnastics meet in Salt Lake City. So we took a 5-day father and son road trip, and all I did was I had my phone with me. I fielded one phone call and 3 text messages
Nice.
in 5 days, and my team handled everything else. So that's the beauty of it, is I work in it because I want to.
Yeah.
But I don't really have to.
Well, yeah, you said that when you go to clean a window, it's kind of like your meditation. It's something like that you kind of do for fun, right? So
That's true.
yeah.
It's very true.
And-
I'm a technician first, and I love that part. But my bigger love now is marketing. And I'll tell you a little bit of backstory to kind of put things in context. So we've been in business in Missoula for 6 years, and in 6 years we generated 600 customers. So easy math, 100 a year. But during the winter times, it's deathly quiet and very slow.
Yeah.
And so I spend a lot of time in the winter reading and studying, and I started like, how am I going to make my business better? So I'm reading business books, and I hit on marketing. And I studied marketing for about 2 years, and then one winter I was like, that's it. I'm going to put everything I learned into operation. And this was 8 years ago this season, 7 full seasons ago. We went from 100 customers a year, new customers. We literally added 1,800 customers in 6 months. But that doesn't sound accurate. There's more to it, that we bought a business that accounted for about 600 of those. So in real terms, in 6 months, we added over 1,000 new customers based on our marketing.
Just on marketing, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and so we almost tripled the size of our business in a 6-month period, which generates its own set of challenges, which was like, how do you keep up with this? How do you keep people happy? But the marketing part, I don't really consider myself an expert, but I do know enough about it to make it work. And I've demonstrated that in our own business. So that's kind of, that's my claim to fame, if you want.
Yeah. I mean, It was funny. I was at your birthday party last week and met your wife for the first time, and her comment was, "He is a marketing genius. My husband is a marketing genius." So just to let you know, and I know and I know that you also run the big entrepreneur group, 1 Million Cups here in Missoula, and you have a lot of respect in this town as being a genius marketer. So one more reason for everybody on this call, on this video, to pay attention and take notes.
Oh, cool. Thank you. That's very kind.
Yeah, no.
That's very cool. So, yeah, do you want to ask the question or do you want me to just answer it about, let's dig in and talk about Facebook.
Yeah, so everybody here, they want some like solid stuff they can start doing today as far as Facebook is concerned. Now, on my last interview with Amanda, which a lot of you guys probably saw, she touched a little bit on Facebook and kind of like how to kind of approach Facebook if you're going to use it in your marketing. And her big thing, which I agree with, is you really can't, it's not just a set it and forget it type of marketing program. It's not an ad. It's not just, I mean, they have Facebook ads, but it's not like putting an ad somewhere and then just waiting for the calls to come in. There's a lot of interaction that goes on, and you really kind of, if you're going to make Facebook marketing really work for you, you have to be kind of into Facebook already. You can't be one of those people, well, I hate Facebook, and then expect Facebook to make money for you. Would you agree with that?
I completely agree. And it's a lot about context, because here's, and one, a disclaimer, I'm not a Facebook expert, but the beautiful thing is you don't have to be to make it very effective and to make it pay.
Okay.
It's just understanding context, because Facebook is, what are most people doing on Facebook? They're looking at cat videos, they're seeing a picture of their buddy's food, they're sharing some story about, most people on Facebook are trying to make themselves look more amazing than they really are.
Okay.
They're like, they only show the pictures of the best thing that happened.
Right.
Look how cool this is. And that's great, but that's the context and the flow. Whereas, in contrast that, if you still know what a physical newspaper is and you're looking through the classifieds because you want to find a used car, you're looking for something that you want to buy.
Right.
And so if you see an ad that says, hey, Jim's car is having a special down here, free test drives and a donut, that doesn't offend you because it fits within a context.
Okay.
But if you flip that to Facebook and everybody's telling stories about their last vacation or what they, whatever, and then you see an ad pop up that says, hi, buy my shit.
Yeah.
It's completely out of context and people will ignore you or be annoyed. So that's why Facebook is for advertising, for working in a local market, for a community business. It's not an advertising medium, but it's a communication medium. It's a place to tell stories. And that's what you have to, they call it native advertising. You just use it within the context that people are already using it.
Okay.
So rather than, because and Gary Vaynerchuk's got a great book. No, I think, Joe, you're a Vaynerchuk fan. This one I love. I've got it dog-eared and bookmarked. Can you see it okay? Jab, right hook.
Yep, it's clear, yeah.
And it's excellent. It's all about social media. And what he does, he talks, obviously there's a boxing analogy there, but he talks about, you're setting up the hook. You don't step into the ring and just throw a haymaker right hook and try to knock out your opponent first hit.
Right.
You got to set it up and get your strategy until you find your opening, and it's jab, and you're setting up the big punch. And that's his premise with marketing on all social media. Is like, you got to tell the story.
Okay.
And make and be interesting. I mean, I think he probably has some rules of engagement. It's like be entertaining, educational, or interesting.
Okay.
And you need to do that. And you can. It's interesting for some people. Like if you're in a window cleaners forum page on Facebook, I'll take a snapshot of the back of the inside of my van. It shows what the setup's like, and everybody is going crazy about it. It's like, oh, this is great. What do you do? What kind of squeegee do you use? But in my home market, and when I go to clean somebody's windows, nobody cares about that.
Yeah.
They do not care. They want someone they trust to do a great job at a reasonable price and show up on time.
Sure.
And that's it.
And they'd rather have their friend do it than some company they've never heard of. So
yeah.
So the way I look at it is with Facebook, you're kind of developing friendships before you're saying buy my shit. Is that?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's a relationship builder. So I'm going to give you, I keep doing this, but I'll give you a little backstory. So we've used Facebook over the past couple of years, and we've had some okay promotions. And I'll post things. I have my team members, we always have a pick of the week contest. So I have them take a picture of something interesting that's going on while they're cleaning, and they'll text it to me. And then the ones that I really like, I'll post on Facebook from the teams, like, hey, pick of the week, Carson said this, and tell a story about it. And they're interesting. And then the winner amongst my staff, on Friday, they get a growler full of beer, or I'll give them
awesome.
a card to go to lunch. And they're like, yeah, so they participate
So they're
actively.
motivated to do this, not just because they work for you, but because they get a beer at the end of the week.
They get something out of it. But it helps me with storytelling because I don't have to come up with things to tell. I just repost what they're doing.
Could you have an example of that you could share with my guys here?
I can, but I'll have to, I was scrolling earlier. I'll have to go all the way back to last year, so it'll probably take a while.
Oh, okay.
So let's use that as a context for the backstory.
Okay, gotcha.
And then I'll bring it forward. So I didn't really get a lot of good, I didn't make a lot of money off of Facebook advertising for two reasons. One, I didn't really track it well last year. It's harder to track. And then I didn't have a strategy for using it.
Okay.
But again, like every winter, I'm always retooling the business and what can we do better? How can we improve? How can we expand? And I made a decision, like I'm going to make Facebook work for me, and I'm going to track it, and we're going to make it profitable. Because putting up an ad on Facebook, as you probably know, it's easy. You go in, you click, it says, ads manager, click a button, and then you put up a picture and write some words, and boom, as long as they've got your credit card, they're happy to run your ad.
Right.
But I set it up like the jab, 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 right hook. So when I started earlier this year, I posted I reposted, which I usually don't do. It was a nice video that somebody did about Missoula. It was on the Matador Network. And I can flip to screen sharing and start showing this and give some background.
That'd be great. Yeah, because I want to give these guys some solid stuff that they can look at and be like, okay, well, I'm going to try to do something like that, or exactly like that, I guess, if it's applicable to their business.
Yeah. So can you see my screen now?
Yeah, I see your Facebook. Yep.
Okay. So this was not an ad to try to get people to buy stuff, but we were on a building doing some gutters, and you can see over here they're flooded in full. This was a month and less than 2 months ago.
Okay.
And I just wrote, yuck, that's nasty. We see a lot of this. And then at the end I said, do you need us to come take a look? Message me. Not a hard sell. This is not the place for a hard sell. I think I promoted this post. Let me see if I can get it to scroll. Yeah. So I promoted it. I spent maybe a whopping $3 to promote the post for a week.
Okay.
Or whatever. The minimum I think is $1 a day. So it's 3 days. And it shows that 600 people reached it. Honestly, I did not expect. There it shows you organic plus paid. I didn't expect to get any business out of this. That wasn't the purpose. What I want to do, and I always have a springtime strategy that's much broader than Facebook, where when it's springtime, I want people in our community to literally say, oh my God, I see you guys everywhere.
Yeah.
And we're not everywhere. We have 4 trucks, but people always, they're like, we see you everywhere because we got litter trucks and we've got lawn signs out and we send out our spring mailer to our customer base and all this stuff. But I want them to see everywhere. So I want to show up in social media in the story. They don't have to buy anything. It's all part of the strategy.
So you're using it not to necessarily get calls right away, especially in the wintertime.
Yeah.
But to brand yourself and let people know that you exist for $1 a day.
For down the road.
Yeah.
So what I did, and I'm going to see if I can show you my ad settings on this, but I set up an audience that was, most of my customers are women aged 35 to 65.
Sure.
That are married with children, have a college degree. That's kind of my ideal market. But most of the people that call are women because they're the keeper of the home, even in our modern society. So I set an ad targeting that's just Missoula within 10 miles and women aged 35 to 65 plus. I did them all. And, so anytime I promote, I just promote to that.
Okay.
Or I'll promote a post that'll go to people that like my page and their friends that are within 10 miles of Missoula. And that's a much smaller number. The one number it's like 25,000 and the other is maybe 8,000 people.
Okay.
But it's nice if you're going to promote a post, if you promote it to people that already like your page and their friends.
Yeah.
Because you'll see it come up on here. It'll say, here's Spectrum Window Cleaning, and it'll go, Joe's on there, and it says, Sid Graff likes this. It's like a friend of Joe's is already liked this company, and that's everybody.
Oh, okay. And that I've seen that, and I didn't realize. Okay, so So when you and so is that what happens when you boost a post? Then there's an option to say send it to all of my likes and their friends.
Yes.
Okay, it's easy to once you boost it, it's easy to figure
It's
that
really
out.
easy to do that.
Okay.
Why don't we do that? I was going to do this later, but do you mind if I do it now? I'll just show you.
Yeah, the more laid out and step by step we can make this for guys, I think the better.
Okay, we'll open up a new Facebook page. This is my personal page. Hey, look, Amanda.
Yeah, there she is.
I'm going to scroll over here and find Spectrum Window Cleaning. I have several different pages, but we go Spectrum, and I'm going to, Joe, I don't have a picture of you handy, but I'm just going to make a post real quick.
Sure.
So
Yes, just a sample.
if I can, yeah, I'm running slow today. Write something. There it is. I'm on a Skype interview with Joe. It's a ski type, whatever. I can't spell. But, and this is a marketing mastermind call. We'll call it that.
I like it.
Now, if I want to publish that post, before I publish it, I can go over here to boost it. So you hit boost. Now I've already set up the audiences and parameters.
Okay.
But you can see over here, the first thing you see is I can show this only to people who like my page.
Okay.
And there's only 300 of them. I mean, it's not very many. Or people who like the page and their friends.
Okay.
And then you can select a location. And this is where it gets brilliant because, you know, your Facebook friends, you got, 500 or 1,000 friends, and most of them are not in your hometown.
Right.
They're all over the country.
Right.
So I don't need people in Austin, Texas, seeing Spectrum Window Cleaning Missoula. It doesn't make sense. But I pick people who like my page and their friends, and then my hometown. You can edit that. You can put it anywhere. So I'm going to add within 10 miles of town.
Okay.
And that's it. And then add a budget down here. And it tells you about how many people that will reach. That's really not an accurate number.
What do you want that number to be? Do you have a sweet spot you want the number to be, the number of people you want to reach?
I like it to be 1,000 or more.
1,000 or more? Okay.
But depending on the way Facebook's playing their algorithm, you may not, like if I want to get to 6,500 people, it says right here,
right,
is the max amount that this number reach, and I go $10 for one day, or
oh, I see. Okay.
I'm not reaching very many people, so I can do it over 7 days, and maybe that number changed. It didn't change. Let me just watch this. I mean, you can spend $100, and it only goes up to 2,600 people. I find this to be a guideline, but not necessarily that relevant. And here's why.
Okay.
If you boost this, and my norm is to boost for $5
Sure. Yeah.
for 3 days.
Yep.
And it doesn't have a 3-day option, but I can go down here and tell it when to end that. At what's today is the 30th, so I'll end on Saturday. Good.
Okay.
And it tells me it's going to reach 450 people. It's not really accurate. If it's something that people want to that they engage with,
right,
if they share it, or if they click like, or if they post a comment, then it suddenly that 460 will be 1,500 people. It'll Facebook shares the things that are getting action.
So you can get more bang for your buck if you make something that is either, like you were saying, interesting, educational, or entertaining.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys, what I see them do is they put a before and after picture, and then say, call us for spring specials.
Yeah.
You're saying that and I've had people get calls off stuff like that, not a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But if you can make it, because that's not entertaining, that's not really interesting unless people have, like, their dog just peed on their carpet or something like that. But you need to be more engaging with your posts as opposed to boring and just like you were saying, just buy my stuff, buy my.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And those ads can work. We call it the type of ad you're talking about is like horse for sale. When you go into classifieds, it says horse for sale. It's
right.
14 hands tall. It's this color. It goes by the name Skipper.
Okay.
It's just name, rank, and serial number. This is what it is. If somebody's looking for a horse, that's all you need. That's great. A before and after picture is perfect. But most people are not on Facebook to find a carpet cleaner.
Exactly.
They're looking for their grandkids' pictures. They're whatever. And so if you slide your story in there in a way that makes sense, that's cool.
Okay.
If you had a fun picture of a child rolling around on her clean carpets because she was so happy and she's playing with her dollhouse, and you write a little something about it, it's like, today we're at Molly's house, and one of the things I love about my business is that when I'm finished, people are so happy.
Yeah.
In a nice photo that's catching, end of story. Don't ask for anything. Just that's it. And you can take a post like that. And what I started doing last year was I'd post stuff every week, nothing major. And if I'd see something getting engagement, like it was getting more likes than the others,
Sure.
then I would boost that post and promote it.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
people already paying attention to it a little bit. Then the promotion made it gathered more speed,
Okay.
or more steam.
So to make sure I understand what you do exactly, is you or one of your guys, one of your techs, make sure that the client's happy, and then you say, "Hey, can I take a picture of your pet or your kid or you or something like it?" Do you ask permission and then post it, or how do you?
We usually don't. It's always something, for us, it's like something more interesting, like somebody's on a roof looking through a window and there's an eagle flying by, or there's just something interesting going on. One time we took a picture with me lying on the floor and Ramiro's holding the carpet cleaner over my head. Just like it looks like I've been, tackled and they're trying to clean me.
Okay.
And we do silly things. We do things that is like we got some beautiful scenery around here. So I'll take a picture of the mountain with the M on it. We'll see that in just a second. Here, let me scroll down and kind of show you some of the stuff that we posted this year. So this is not that interesting. It's a dirty gutter.
Okay.
But it was, the snow was just melting, and that made it relevant.
Okay.
It's like this isn't draining. People's things are flooding. And I didn't really make a big deal about it. I just said, "Oh, that's nasty." And it's kind of a nice photo. I mean, it's not pretty, but for some people, they're like, "Ooh, what the hell is that?" They'll look a little closer. And then they tell just a tiny story. Now let me move up, and we boosted that for about $5. Let me go to what was next.
Okay.
Somebody posted a review. This is something good. That's some that I learned this winter. I was trolling. Actually, it was on Twitter, which I'm never on Twitter, and looking for, and I just searched window cleaners, and there was this window cleaning company. I noticed that all their posts, anytime they got a Google review, they would copy that and then repost it on their Twitter feed. And so I did the same thing, and I reposted this, and I said, "Thanks for the 5-star review, Julie." And this had her information on it, and I just copied and pasted her review on us, and then I promoted that.
Oh, okay. Promoting reviews. So turning a review into an ad.
Yeah, and it's not, and I'm going against Dan Kennedy's direct marketing, hard rule. He says always make an offer. I'll do about 4 posts with no offer, and then 1 post with an offer.
So 1 out of 5 posts has an offer. The rest are just relationship building or entertaining.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I mentioned from the book. Dude's got his rules. My rules for posting is it needs to be valuable, helpful, or relevant.
Okay.
Or maybe more. Scroll up a little bit more, and you can see the stats on this. I've got 81 organic and a paid reach of 2,600. And here's what I posted. I didn't post a picture of a window or a carpet. I posted an iconic picture of the mountain on the edge of town.
Yeah.
Here's the M. And I said, hey, and this was, I'd already done 2 or 3 that were just, look at this. This is interesting. What's up? And then I said, hey, you ready for your great spring cleaning? Looks like spring's here early. We've got a special. It's simple, blah, blah, blah. And sounds good. Call now. And I had people, look, this is more than usual. I had 51 people like this.
Wow. So that's kind of a lesson right there is what in your town is a landmark or is an icon or something that everybody knows about and loves, right?
Yeah, that's a big deal. We had I'm going to sidebar on you. Is that okay, Joe?
Yeah.
One of my techs, he was a brilliant cleaner and a good thinker, as a rock climber. And he moved back to his hometown and he called me up and he said, hey, I think I want to start a window cleaning business here. Will you help me? And I'm like, of course, this is great.
Right.
So I went and spent a day with him and I said, people here, some people know you and your family, but you're opening a new market. What you want to do is cheat the system by hacking your way into what is already familiar to people. And if you can get right inside what they're already familiar with, they're going to associate you with familiarity and with trust. So we drove downtown. We made like a 2-minute intro video of him talking about window cleaning. But we did it with a decent camera, not a phone.
Okay.
But we drove down his town like we would here in Missoula, and like here's the Wilma, here's the M. Here we just videoed all the iconic things that people associate this picture with Missoula.
Yeah.
And they know that. So I did all those things, and so we had a lot of B-roll that we tied into the video. And so then you see Pete cleaning a window and turn around a big smile, and then you see the interview that I did with him. And it was like automatically, like, and trust this guy because he's a homeboy.
He's a local boy. Yeah, he's a local guy. He's one of us. We can trust. It's instant trust, right? And which is huge. And
it's just a trust builder. So it's a shortcut to trust. And people do business with people they trust.
Yes.
And the more they trust you, the less price becomes an issue, which we won't even get into my personal pet peeve, which is competing on price.
Right.
If you're competing on price, it's a race to the bottom.
Yeah.
You want to find some other way to compete to give you a good price so that you can take the time you need to do an excellent job and still make a profit, and then everybody's happy. So,
yeah, and you are not the cheapest guy in town when it comes to window cleaners, for sure.
I am not. Almost never. I don't try to be high priced, but it's good.
Okay, cool.
I have another story about that, but I guess we probably have to finish this within a day, right?
For sure, yeah.
So here, I want to show you on this post. This was the third or fourth post I'd done this. This was early. I don't even see the date on here. February.
Okay.
In February, Missoula, nobody's cleaning windows. It's an ice bucket.
Right.
But here I posted that, and 51 people liked it because they see the picture of Missoula and they like that.
Yep.
And here Joy said, "Hey, I'm ready." So I messaged her and she scheduled. That was the first job we scheduled from Facebook. She's someone that I know, but has never been a client, so I could count that as a new customer for the year.
Okay.
And our average customer is $247 for residents. That's if you averaged all of our customers. So I think her job was about 180, maybe 190. So I went, okay, I've spent $12 whole on Facebook ads, and there's $190, and it's developing a relationship, which is even better.
Which could turn into referrals. She could be a recurring every 6 month type of client. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So here, let's roll up to, this is another one. There was exactly zero promotion in this. It was just something interesting. I did promote the post. 492 people saw it. I don't know how many people, 8 people liked it and a couple of comments. But it was just a nice video that somebody did about Missoula.
So you found somebody else's Missoula video.
Yeah.
And did you share it and then?
I shared it and then promoted it.
Okay, I didn't know you could promote a share, so that's good. Promote other, so that, I mean, that's a no-brainer. Find stuff that is cool, share it, and then promote it under your own name.
And you can, and what that does too is it saves you a crap load of time because you're just curating information. You're not making it all up.
Well, a lot of guys, they don't want to come up with ideas because they talk to me and they're like, "Can you just do Facebook for me?" And I'm like, I've tried it in the past, and it has to be something like, I don't know your town, I don't know what your people are into, and it's hard for me to be you and make it personal for you because it really does need to be personal to make it work.
Absolutely.
As best as it possibly can.
Could you imagine somebody else posting for you as you on your personal page?
Right.
It would never work.
Yeah, I would love to charge people to do Facebook for them, but this is the problem we always run into. I tried doing like the cute dog pictures and stuff like that, and we got some traction, and it worked a little bit, but people want, they want, if they're going to pay me a few $100s a month to do Facebook, they want 10, 20 calls, and it just wasn't happening. So, that being said, I mean, what's your opinion on paying somebody else to do Facebook for them?
I wouldn't do it. It would be valuable if you paid somebody to give you like a content calendar. I mean, if you didn't want to make it up, and then you wouldn't pay much, but if somebody gives you a PDF that says you've got Marvelous Mondays, you've got, Tanqueray and Tonic Tuesdays, and, Widget Wednesday, Throwback Thursday. I mean, you set up something so you have a framework that you're going to put stuff in.
Okay.
Because on your business page, you can set up a post and schedule it to come out later. So you don't have to do these every day. You could go on Sunday evening, you can make 5 posts and schedule them for Monday through Friday, and they come out I don't know if you can promote them in advance. I think you have to promote them once they go live. I wish I actually knew that. But so you don't have to, I'm a big fan of trying to save time and be efficient. So you've got to, you can batch it, and you can do that in an hour a week.
Okay.
Now then we get to this year, I've set up the hook on
Okay.
this, and so I go for something that's relevant. And I did this. I think I put this out March 10th or 11th. And
I
I
like
went.
this. This one showed up on my Facebook feed, and I shared it because I know you.
Yeah.
And another reason is because I thought it was just a super creative way to promote a not super exciting business on Facebook.
Yeah, our goal is to make window cleaning sexy again,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it's actually not. It's just to do good and make a profit. But so I ordered this little leprechaun doll for $10 on Amazon,
Okay.
and I posed him with my squeegee, and I actually spent a whole 10 minutes using a free tool online called PicMonkey.com to edit the photo,
Okay.
change to make it a little more, change the color. And I'm not a photo editor. I don't know diddly squat about it, but it's easy. Like click, click, click. This looks better. Boom. Here's my picture. I'm gonna scroll up to where I actually boosted it and show you what I did. That was just a profile picture. Let's see. I apologize. My laptop's running really laggy today.
That's okay. It looks fine on this end.
I've got it up here as a pin post. So what I did is I made a contest out of it, and there are several reasons behind it. I don't know if we get all the way into it, but damn,
I think you just passed it.
No, I made a short video of the winner.
Oh, okay.
So here's the post.
Okay. There it is. Yeah.
This,
I remember that now.
and it's actually kind of it's on the borderline of Facebook's terms and conditions with contests, but I went and did it anyway, and they approved the ad, so it was good. So I just went. Here's the picture. This happy leprechaun wants to give you free window cleaning. St. Patrick's Day is just days away. Celebrate. We'll give away $200 of window cleaning. Now, in your business, a $200 retail is going to cost you about 2 or 3 hours of work. I mean, we're not giving away the farm here. And I didn't give away $200 cash. What it nets out to be on my end is about, payroll wise, is about $80.
Okay.
So then that's a giveaway, and that's just an ad cost. So I'm like, here's the game, here's how it works. And to play this game, you got to get points. So for 1 point, if you comment on the post, great. 2 points if you tag a friend in comments. What happens when you tag a friend in a comment? Where does that post show up? On your friend's feed.
On your friend's feed, so that all their friends can see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then 5 points if you share the post, so if they just click the share button and put it on their wall. And 10 points if they actually take a picture of themselves with a leprechaun and post it. And honestly, I didn't think anybody do that, because why would they? Well, $200 will motivate a lot of people. So here you can see our stats on who we reached, organic and paid. And I boosted this one. I put $30 on it. That's not a ton of money. How much do you spend if you're putting out a mailer?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, but here's what happened. Here's some results. 22 people like it. But I had 17 people shared it on their wall or their page or somewhere else. And then
Wow.
the comments that we started, at first it took off a little slow. I had 6 days
Okay.
of contest time. And the first person shared it, and they're like, hey, I'm Irish. I'd love to win. And I tried to reply. I tried to keep it fun. It's like I tried to talk like an Irishman.
Okay. Okay.
And that's hard to type. It's hard to say. And then she's like, oh, I get 1 point for a comment. Oh, she tagged her friend. So this goes onto her wall. So she got 2 points. And then she didn't qualify for the 10 points, but she did take a Irish looking picture of a dog.
Okay.
But then somebody else chimed in. And once I saw a little bit of action started to take place, because it started off slow, then I went and I private messaged about 8 people that I knew, that I thought would be interested. There are people that I know that are in town. And I just said, hey, I've got this contest. Here's the thing. Free window cleaning. Why not? And people started to do things and share. And then people started, the competition started to heat up. So this lady, Ann, gets the first leprechaun in. So she actually took a picture and posted it. So, she got, if you commented, tagged, shared, and did a leprechaun, the maximum points you get is 18.
Okay.
And then people realized that the more people that they tagged, that's how you could win. So Kirsten jumps in the game here, and she tags like 10 people. So she jumps way out front of, points wise. Now, this is all silly.
Yeah.
But I made a big deal about it in the replies down here, if I can get this to work, about, she tagged all these people, and then they started, writing I love Spectrum window cleaning and tagging more people. But I made a big deal and let people know that's how you win. It's tagging people. So I won't show you everything, and this is something I posted. Just a silly ass GIF that I stole off the internet, right?
So, okay, so
We hear real quick. Let me just hit the stats on it
sure, yeah.
because that's what people want to know. It's like, well, how did it turn out? Did you make money? Because I gave away $200 off
Okay.
the top.
Right.
We ended up with, I think we had 14 participants. We had over 75 people got tagged, so it showed up on their wall.
Okay.
At the same time, I promoted this for $30, so it's showing up everywhere. Well, it's right at that cusp where our season where we start to get busy if the weather's nice.
Okay.
The 17th.
Yep.
And I replied to every single comment that people made, and I'm like, good job, keep up top of the morning, bottom of the pint, whatever. I just wrote silly stuff to stay engaged.
And that's why we were saying at the beginning, it's hard for somebody else to do it because if you hire a company to do Facebook ads for you, they're not going to sit there and interact with all of the people that are liking, sharing, commenting.
Right.
So and it's also not a set it and forget it type of advertising platform. Like I said, you got to be kind of into Facebook. You have to enjoy Facebook to really make this work. So I'm sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to
No,
chime in
and
there.
it's very true. But the thing about it is, it took a little time for me to think it through, write the rules, write the post. I wanted it to sound a certain way,
Yeah.
and get the picture. So I invested, a whopping 30 minutes into this and $30. Plus, you've on your phone you can set up notifications. So anytime somebody commented on this post, it'd show up on my phone, and I could reply right away.
Okay.
And this picture was my favorite. I almost declared them winner just for that.
Okay.
But we ended up there were about 15 people that played the contest, and it showed up on over 75 different walls. And then we promoted it like crazy, and you can see all the names here. So every one of these people, my post showed up on their wall, and I didn't put it there.
Wow.
Somebody else put it there for me. I essentially, for $30, I hired 15 people, some friends and some complete strangers, to promote my business all over town. And in the rules, I wrote very specifically, it has to be in Missoula.
Sure. Yeah.
I didn't want somebody to tag, 800 friends in Texas. I want them right here in town.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's the story. Now,
was that your idea, or did you get that idea? Is that like an idea that a lot of businesses are using, or is that your baby?
It was mine.
Okay.
But it's modified. Of course, I've seen people do contests before. Usually they're kind of cheesy, and I'm not crazy about cheesy. So I just modified it to be on the way I do things.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to try, Joe, to switch back to
There's me.
me. There you are. Switch screen window. Hold on. Stop. All right. I'm a newbie with Skype.
Okay.
So did you get me back? There we go.
Yep. You're good.
So what I tried to do was to keep it within my personality,
Okay.
to make it work the way I want it. So I put all these parameters on it, and you have to think in terms of making things incredibly simple, because
Okay.
literally, somebody will climb Mount Everest if you promise to give them a 2-week trip to Tahiti, but they won't change their radio station to try a different brand of soap.
Okay.
People are weird, right? So I
Okay.
made it as easy as I could. And I tried to, I looked for apps that you can install that will manage your contest, and they were just all goofy. I was like, well, here are the rules. 1 point for this, 2 points for that, 5 points, 10 points.
I
That's it.
I like the point system. So if you don't mind, what I'm going to do, I'm kind of just taking notes on
Yeah.
your different strategies and tips. I'm going to try to put it all into like a 1-page PDF, like a cheat sheet.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to put it, and then I'm going to put it below, a link to it below this video. If you don't mind, if you don't mind people using that stuff, because I think
No,
this
I
is gold.
don't mind at all. That's good.
Yeah, this is gold here.
And the contest is a great way to stimulate a certain level of viral, but it's not the only way. And it's not even my first choice.
Okay. Okay.
So I hope I don't want people to take away like, oh, I have to run a stupid contest on Facebook.
Right.
What a joke. No, the real strategy in it is to do stuff that's relevant, to post things that are interesting, because people are interested. If you get a picture of a baby in a red wagon, and they're somebody's pulling it, and there's your truck right behind it, and you just happen to catch a snap of your carpet cleaning truck behind this cute kid, people love that.
Yeah.
Well,
What I like the most of what you said so far, I'm excited. You got my wheels turning here. Is finding interesting stuff, sharing it and then boosting it. I did not know you could boost a share, and
Yeah.
and then you can write your own little comment about it and make, because the example there you showed with that video of Missoula, a lot of times you might not even notice that you shared it. It actually looks like it came from Spectrum Window Cleaning, and so I'm excited now. I've got all kinds of ideas on stuff I'm going to do for my own business.
That's funny you said it, because I mean, people are usually lazy, and I had one person say, "Wow, your video is amazing. Did you make that, or did one of your sons make it?" I'm like, I had nothing to do with it.
Right.
I clicked a button.
I had to look and make sure, was that shared or did sit? Yeah. So I mean, that is the lazy man's Facebook marketing right there.
Yeah, and so you do that, in the formula is kind of 3 or 4 interesting tidbits, and then now it's time for your promotion.
Yeah,
it goes, hey, now this week we're gonna give you 1 free room of carpet cleaning, or if you get your carpets cleaned by Wednesday, we'll buy you a beer. I don't know. You can make up something.
I love it, man. No, you get me excited now. So.
Okay, I have to tell you a story. So let me wrap that up with the stats.
Okay.
So we had you saw all the shares and all the stuff.
Yeah.
And from Facebook this year, I use another piece of software called Responsibid that people can get bids online. But we try to track, where did that person come from.
Okay.
So the best that we were able to track it, we had 12 people call and schedule from Facebook.
In the slow season.
In the slow season. We hadn't started yet. Now, 6 of those were existing customers.
Okay.
So they weren't all new. 6 of them were new customers.
Okay.
One of them we gave away $200 worth. So you can't really count that as new, but I guarantee there'll be a repeat every year. So
right.
But that's, so 12 times. So math can be easy. Our average is 250. That's, oh my gosh, what is that? I'm asking you.
What's your average job?
$250. So
Okay.
250 times 12. Let's call it 250 times 10. That's $2,500 worth of work for my $40 an hour worth of effort.
$40 1 hour, $2,500 in sales.
Yeah. So that's a good ROI.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And here's what we normally do this time of year. I mean, we already did one. We always, our first mailer of the year, we mail out 6 times a year. We'll mail postcards to our existing customer base.
Okay.
Just in-house mailer. And not everybody gets it. We can segment our list by who spends the most, or when's most recent, whatever.
Sure.
So we sent out a mailer to 1,600 customers for St. Patrick's Day, and it's the little green leprechaun. I'm looking for my postcard. I don't have one on my desk. It's downstairs. And for 1,600 people to mail it out, I mean, it's like $480 to send that out.
Just a reminder.
Yeah, and that's just, and it was like, here's our special. And our specials are never a discount. It's always an add-on. That's another story. But we sent that out, and we probably had 10 people call in and schedule. It more than broke even.
Okay.
But the ROI didn't come close to what we did on Facebook. So, it was really good. That's the first time we've tried to stimulate commerce from Facebook on purpose and really get, and track it. So I was excited about it too.
Well, it's cool that you're sharing numbers and not just shares and likes and stuff like that. You're actually sharing dollars, and that's huge, I think.
What's important, because likes don't pay they can't pay your bills.
Yeah.
They make you feel good, but they don't pay for anything. So while we're talking, I'm gonna scroll back in time on my Facebook page, and I'm not showing it right now. But what I want to get to is a post that I put up last year. There was no call to action. We didn't make any money off of it, but it generated action, traction, and goodwill like crazy.
Okay.
While I'm going back to that, let's see. Well, I'm going to stop telling stories. Do you have any questions while I'm scrolling?
No, man. I mean, if we stopped right now, I think this would be enough to make people, if people took your advice on what you said right now, this could be worth thousands and thousands of dollars over the course of this busy season that's coming up.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Yeah, and if you're just getting in people's head, I mean, my whole purpose was just to make sure people saw my name associated with something fun.
Oh, yeah. One thing I do want to mention, I saw somebody do, one of my clients do, I thought was genius. He will, every time he cleans a carpet and the client is happy, he asks them, can we do a selfie together? He takes his iPhone, puts his arm around, big smiles, takes a selfie, posts it up on Facebook, and says, I just finished cleaning Miss Jones' carpet, Look how happy she is. Thank you, Miss Jones, for the opportunity to serve you. Boom. And he'll do it. Sometimes he'll do like 2 or 3 posts a day, depending on how many jobs he does.
That's
And,
awesome.
and he said it is raking in the calls. And
That
he doesn't
is-
even have a call to action. He doesn't even have an offer on the.
You don't even have to. What are you combining there? You're combining social proof and a testimonial and somebody else's friends
Yeah.
all at one time.
Oh, he
that's
said, yeah, and
ingenious.
and so they see it, and then they share it with their friends. They share their own picture with their friends, and he said it's just off the chain. But a lot of guys, and I understand that's not a strategy for everybody. A lot of guys don't want to be constantly taking selfies. They just don't have that. But if you do, if you're not afraid to do that, or if you think that might be fun, there's a strategy right there that can make you a ton of money as well. So anyway,
Absolutely.
I digress.
That's cool. That is very cool. Here, as I'm scrolling through this, I'm seeing stuff we posted over the last year. I'm like, I should just show this. So, we took a silly picture of the van, just little things. Where we're about to get to is, we have forest fires here in Montana, usually every year. And it gets real smoky, and people have smoke in their house. And I made a short video, literally 1-minute video about how to clean the smoke out of your house fast and cheap.
Okay.
And it was relevant. I'm sorry this is laggy. I want to get to it. Here, see, this is interesting to some people, and it's jumping. We're cleaning the top of a building. We just post stuff like that.
Okay.
I don't go very deep in this.
Okay, and that's easy stuff too. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. My son made a little video intro for us. It's not even a minute long. It's 15 seconds long. Hang on. We're getting so close. It's just not going fast. Anytime I can, I always post pictures of me doing something amazing so people think I'm cool. I'm kidding. Most people just post, they're like, wow, you're really old. Okay. Really, we're getting close. So what we do, anyway, I posted some, this is where I got my rules that whatever I post, I want it to be relevant and valuable and helpful to people right now, not down the road. And we're almost there. Man, I'm trying to see how slow I can get my computer to run today.
Well, one thing I just thought of, that could apply to the average carpet cleaner out there, as far as, well, I just kind of lost my train of thought there. I'll come back to that.
Okay, smoke or not, here we come. Okay, so we're getting close because this is a day
Okay,
where it was
there we go.
smoky here. And see, my guys took this picture.
Is that you there?
What are you doing on top of the van? That thing's not moving, is it? Is OSHA going to see this? Okay, here we go. So I want you to see first
Okay.
our normal. Damn it! I gave away all the good stuff. Normally we get between 0 likes and 50 likes, and 50 is a big day.
Okay.
Damn it! I'm sorry, Joe.
I saw it go by. It said like 13,000 people reached or something like that.
Yeah. It broke the internet. Okay, here's a smoky day. I stopped scrolling like 5 minutes ago, and it's still moving. So
Okay.
that's the part. Hopefully, you can edit out all the.
Well, I just thought about what I was going to say. So you were saying you did an educational video on how to clean the smoke out of your house, to de-smoke your house during the smoky season, right?
Yes.
So I was thinking if you are a restoration company, you could do a quick little, if there's a big freeze, do a video on what to do if you have an emergency pipe burst situation.
Yeah.
Just a quick video. If you're just doing carpet cleaning, you could do springtime. You could do it's springtime. Maybe the dogs have been peeing on the carpet over the winter time. Here's what you can do. Here's a tip on how you can clean that up with vinegar and water, something like that. Just helpful educational stuff like that. Make a short 1-minute video with your phone and boost it. Right?
Agreed.
Okay.
And those are the best. I mean, because it's real, it's short, and it's helpful. If it's helping people right now, it's relevant. That's what people want to know that anyway. So, I came across this kind of spot. We don't see that often. So here's what we do to take it out. Here's what you can do at home if you have trouble. And we actually did a video of how to clean windows like a professional, and we promoted it all over Missoula. And it's one of the things that pops up if you Google window cleaning Missoula, you'll find that video on YouTube.
Oh,
and I had friends and employees, so why would you teach people how to do that? You're going to lose business. And I said, it's exactly the opposite will happen.
I've found that myself too.
Yeah.
The more you educate and be helpful and specific, the better chance they are to use you for the service rather than try to do it themselves. But anyway.
Yeah. Okay, I want you to see how crappy this video is. Look, it's in my kitchen with a phone. The audio stinks on it. Anybody can go look at my page if they want. But all I did was give people a hack on how to clean the smoke out of your air. And that hack is take a HEPA furnace filter and throw it on the back of a box fan and turn it on.
Oh.
And it'll circulate like crazy and it'll clean your air. And if you look at your filter like 2 hours later, it's going to be black. When smoke as it was here. Now check out the stat numbers here. I paid to promote this. Paid reach was 1,000. Organic reach was 12,000.
Wow.
And it shocked me because normally I see organic reach, you saw it, 50 to 100. And the reason it went, it got that kind of viral reach is because it was incredibly helpful. People had a need. It's like, if you have some sort of infestation in your house, everybody, let's say there's a weird spring hatch and everybody's house is full of flies. You're like, here's how to get the flies out of your house today, fast and easy. You don't have to pay an exterminator. This is it. And you throw something up. People are crazy about it because they want help and they're sharing it with their friends. Like, look at this, look at this, look at this. And I didn't notice this. I didn't ask for a call. I didn't have no call to action, no anything. Just here's a quick tip to help clear the smoke from your home. I wanted to help people. And
Nice.
But that seed of goodwill spread all across our community. So if people didn't know me before, now what do they think of me?
Right.
They're like, that Sid's awesome. Look what this is cool. This helped me. My kid's asthmatic, and this helped. I mean, those are the kind of things that I want to be.
I love
known
that.
for.
I love that idea. Yeah, so it is just a matter of, and I think people get kind of wrapped up like, well, then I got to get learn how to edit videos and I got to do this. And anybody who watches my videos know that it's me sitting behind a computer like I am right now, with an okay camera that's on my Mac computer here, and I don't have fancy microphones. I don't have all that stuff, and I get a huge response. I know this video right now when I put on YouTube is going to get a huge response over the next 6 months. Huge.
Right.
I know how it works. And I encourage everybody who's watching this to do something similar.
Check this out. We'll demonstrate how easy it is. Hey, it's Sid, and I'm on Skype live right now. I'm being interviewed by Joe Burnich from Big West Marketing. He's kind of the marketing guru, and I'm very grateful and humbled that he decided to interview me about Facebook marketing. You guys got to check it out.
There's your video.
That's 17 seconds. That's your video. And I'll upload that. I'll upload it this afternoon, and I'll send you the link so you can show. Oh, wow, he actually did this.
Yeah.
It's just that easy.
It's so easy with a smartphone, with an iPhone or whatever. It's so easy these days to make quick little pictures, videos. So we're running right at about an hour now.
Yep.
Is there anything else really powerful you want to share with these guys? Because I don't want to drag this on too long because then people won't watch it. But
I think we sum it up by one: don't overcomplicate it.
Okay.
And speak the native language. Don't try. It's if you just think of it. If you're walking through a mall parking lot and you walked up to every person and said, "Hey, you want your carpets cleaned?" People are not there for that. They don't care.
Right.
And then you're going to be offensive to them, and you're going to have a bad taste in their mouth. But if you're doing helpful, genuine, interesting things, and just taking a picture and putting it up, or writing a little story, and just putting it up and promoting that over time, people will see you. We're talking cheap. $5 a week. Yeah. And then when you're ready, like when the timing's right, like there's a certain time everybody gets their carpets clean. For us, it's windows. And then you put out your big promotion. It's not the first time they heard of you. As a matter of fact, they're already in the back of their mind. If they don't remember it, they're going, that guy's cool. What's he doing?
Yeah.
And then, there's where your business comes in.
Yeah.
So keep it simple, keep it relevant, and try to be really helpful.
And it needs to be more of a long-term strategy than try a couple things and then be, that doesn't work. It needs to be a long-term. You need to be thinking about the long-term. Oh, one other thing I wanted you to talk about, I just remembered, is you said you have like a stockpile of posts to use because you like to post every week. Can you tell me about that stockpile?
I do, and I have a stockpile of posts. Oh, I just switched, like you can see my screen. I have a handful of posts that are just ready. And here's what I do. Literally last night, right before I went to bed, I Googled silly ass quotes.
Okay.
And I find things like, a day without sunshine is like night. I mean, just stupid things. But I'll take something pithy like that or goofy and put it with a nice photo. So I've got photos that my guys have texted me for pick of the week,
Okay.
and I just keep them ready. And then when literally, like, if I have to take my kid to the dentist while I'm in the office waiting, I'll pull out the phone and I'll go to my business page manager, boop, and I'll pop it up, and I'll find Spectrum Window Cleaning on here, and that's one of my son's businesses. They'll just do something and I'll just post it.
Easy.
And it's
easy.
I mean, it's using net time, no extra time. Something that where you're sitting around waiting in line, you can take a snapshot and post something, write a 2 sentence blurb about it, and put it on your page and promote it. Don't overcomplicate it. I do not like thinking about big. That's a lie. I love thinking about big strategies, but I don't like the nitty gritty stuff.
Yeah. No, but
So
simplicity
it's not
always
simple.
seems to work the best. As long as you can get a strategy that you know works by keeping it simple. It's because if it's simple, that means that you're going to do it repeatedly. It's not going to be something that's too overwhelming and something that's it's hard that you're going to put on the back burner. If it's simple, you can do it anyway.
Let me throw out one more idea for your people, for people like me that, like, I don't really love technology, but it's a necessary evil.
Okay.
I'm 50.
Okay.
But I've got teenage kids, and something you could do today, like, I could give my phone to my 12-year-old and say, hey, I want you to take some pictures and write a little story about it. I'm going to put it on my Facebook page for window cleaning. And he'll come up with something interesting and creative through the eyes of a 12-year-old, and I'll post it as him. I go, my son just did this, and this is what he said. And boom, and that's instant content. You didn't have to make it up. Your kid can do it, and all you have to do is say to your 14-year-old, like, now how do I put this on my page? And they'll go like, Dad, you're such a dork. And they go boop, 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 and it's done.
Nice.
And you're like, instant. And people like that more than hearing me talk about how cool windows are.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's really no end. It's just a matter of taking a minute and a breath, drinking a beer, and being creative.
But I think just what we said here. I mean, you gave some specific examples and stuff. Like I said, I'm going to make a PDF 1-page cheat sheet, put it below this video, so you can click it, you can download it, you can print it out. So there shouldn't be any more excuses as far as how do I make Facebook work? Does Facebook work? Stuff like that. Those kinds of questions I think are all taken care of in this 1-hour video. So. Sid, I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate this. You took a whole hour out of your day. I know you're busy. Guys, if you have any questions, give us a call, 406-493-1881. If you want to get a free consultation, we can talk about internet marketing, websites, whatever. So once again, Sid Graff from Spectrum Window Cleaning in Missoula, Montana. I love it. Thanks, Sid.
Cool. Thanks, Joe.
Okay.
See you later.
Talk to you soon.